The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, and themikewagnershow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's living in Mobile, Alabama, film producer and director and founder of Creighton Films. He also he's featured on a YouTube channel, also on Amazon. He's got quite a few films, and he's also appeared on the Don Vic Show as starters. And he grew up in a town with members of Three Doors Down. We'll talk about that story. And also, he's a 20-year movie producer. He's got a new movie out, which is a story of love, revenge, and a man's redemption for a man to basically struggling to escape the darkness of his past. It's called Binded by Tragedy. We'll talk about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios of Sweet Home, Alabama, the amazing multi-talented 20-year movie producer and director and founder of Creighton Films with Binded by Tragedy. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Creighton Hobbs. Creighton, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, wow, man. That was the greatest intro I've ever. I feel like I'm accepting an award. It's like, thank you. You know, it's great, man.
Well, you got some awards right there on your shelf there, which reminds me of a shelf at home. You got your little awards, and I could see some right there, and I can see you adding a few more. So,
yeah, right, yeah. It's just props I bought off of Amazon, and I just was like, here, this will make me look important. You know,
you sure they're not Academy Awards you bought from somebody else? I'm kidding.
Right.
Yeah, we got some good stuff. So you're a movie producer of 20 years. You're also director and founder of Creighton Films. You're featured on a YouTube channel. Also, you got your movies on Amazon. You appeared on the Don Vic Show. You grew up in the town with members of Three Doors Down, and you have a new movie which is about a story of love, revenge, and a man's redemption for a man struggling to escape the darkness of his past. You also had The History That Haunts Us, The Mystery of Winnie Evans, The Dog River Monster, and we'll talk about the movie Binded by Tragedy. And before getting all that, Creighton, tell us how I first got started.
Oh, gosh. Well, you know, I first fell in love with wanting to make movies, right? Anybody who's a director or even an actor or producer or whatever, they can always go back to that certain point, and usually it's in their childhood most of the time, and they say, you know what, I want to do that. I want to do that movie magic. This is what I want. And me being a sick kid, at 7 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and this was back in the 80s. So, I mean, we're talking like, you know, I was like, oh, you need an insulin shot? Here's a horse needle, you know.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
And I remember those long needles. They stick kind of settling up between like your teeth and gum and everything. Oh, I still get nightmares from that. When you mentioned it, it's kind of like the modern day PTSD is coming back. So,
right. So, you know, me being at 7 years old and just really science was starting to learn about diabetes, you know, like, and it was still in the beginning stages of, you know, compared to where it's at now. So I was in the hospital a lot.
Oh my God.
And so when you're in the hospital as a 7-year-old and just a child, you're reading comics and you're reading books, and you're watching TV. And, you know, I started really, really watching TV, but I was just intrigued by it. I was like, you know, I wonder how they did that. I wonder if there's a way I could possibly make that or do that or something. And my parents, they kept encouraging me. They was like, you know what? Follow your dreams, and just one day, your dreams, if they don't come true, you'll get that close to it. And here I am. For 20 long years, I've been making, directing, and producing movies.
And you're living a dream as well, too. And what was that one exact precise moment in your life that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Well, I remember I came home from the hospital and we had a VCR tape.
I remember
literally,
those.
there's a VCR tape. So I stuck in a VCR tape that my mom and dad recorded this movie, and it was called DC Cab by Gary
DC
Busey.
Cab. Okay.
Yeah. It had Mr. T and Gary Busey and, just a bunch of actors that was really getting started in their career. And for some reason, I watched that and I said, I want to be a director and I want to own my own studio. And this is what I want to do. I want to create and make movies. And that's what it was. That was my aha moment.
It certainly was. And DC Cab, was it the actors that was all assembled that were getting their careers that made you get started? Was it the directing that made you get started? Or was it a scene in particular that made you say, I'm going to do this?
Actually, it was Gary Busey and Mr. T that was in this movie. That I loved how their acting was, but I also loved how they framed it up and just how they took this really cheesy comedy and how they made it. I'm not trying to make it like it should have won an Oscar, because it is what it is.
Darn, I was going to rent it.
But it is what it is. But being a child, but just really having that aha moment, and I was like, you know what? It's possible. I know I can do it. And that's what it was.
And I'm sure it does too. And besides Gary Busey, Mr. T, the ones you're impressed by, and also DC Cab, who are some of your other favorite actors and directors and other movies growing up?
Well, as I got older, I always enjoyed, and I still to this day enjoy watching Brad Pitt, his performance, his acting ability, because to me, with Brad Pitt, he's one of those, whatever he's playing, you could tell that he is so deep into the character that you just want to watch and see what that's what I like. That's what not an actor that's just kind of like, I'm here for a check, I'm going to give a mediocre performance. And I apply that to my films. I'll hired and fired actors and gotten, it's kind of like, if you can't make me as the director believe it, what makes you think the audience who's going to rent it on Amazon for $2.99 or whatever,
or even buy it. You're right. Even buy it.
Yeah. I mean, so it's kind of like, I'm real, picky. I've got to, I tell all of my actors and stuff, it's like, you got to make me believe that this character that you're playing is real. And to me, Brad Pitt really catches that for me.
He sounds like a modern day Robert De Niro, because I remember a quote from him saying that I just don't play the part, I marinate. It sounds like the modern day Robert De Niro talking Brad Pitt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
And who are some other favorites growing up, along with some movies and especially directors? Who are your favorites?
Directors. Now, I am a big Alfred Hitchcock guy. I am. I love Alfred Hitchcock. I've actually learned, because I never went to film school, never. And I learned everything, not everything, but a lot of influences come from Alfred Hitchcock. And you see that in my movies, where I take his style of stuff, man, is just storytelling. So, the one thing that I will always remember from Alfred Hitchcock. He said you could record this lady in a bikini at the beach, right? Just a still shot of that. And then you could go to the next scene and show a man and a woman, or a man and two kids. And you would think, watching this, it's family. It's a family at the beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can take that same woman, same exact shot, and then cut to another person, to a guy dressed in an overcoat and a hat, and then press the camera angle down and then darken him some. And then you would think, that guy's fixing to, that guy's is up to no good. It's basically that same shot, but it's what your next shot's going to be that's going to help tell the story. That was one of the things I loved about Alfred Hitchcock,
Mm-hmm. And what was your favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie?
Ooh, probably, honestly, I'm going to say it, Psycho.
I think that's everyone's obvious choice as well, too. I was kind of thinking the same thing. There's probably some other ones as well, too. And of course, your favorite movies growing up, and you mentioned some of those, and maybe a few that you really enjoyed.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Some other favorite movies. I guess, I'm kind of a comic book fantasy guy. I guess, that's just me. That's just what I like. So I like here recently the Avengers franchises.
Oh, that's the DC. No, not DC. Marvel, right?
Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's
yeah. And I also love Batman. Any of the Batman movies, I'm a huge fan because I guess just growing up, like with me being sick and reading, my brother bringing me Batman comics and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it just it sticks with you.
Every time we talk about Batman, I think of the Adam West version. I don't know why, but
right, yeah.
I often think
had the big giant belt,
or it's like carry like some shark repellent. It's like in the Batmobile, get some shark repellent.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And of course, you had all these Batman actors throughout the years. Which one's your favorite?
Oh gosh. That's a toughie, but probably because I can only say two. There's only two that I will always say this is my Batman, and that's Christian Bale and that guy, that Robert Pattinson.
Oh, is that the most recent one?
The most recent guy.
Most recent. Okay, nice.
Yeah, the most recent guy. Those two to me just really, in essence, captured what I've always thought about, and dreamed about what the Batman would be like, so.
Mm-hmm. But and of course, who needs Robin and Catwoman to determine as well, too? And of course, you got your own movies as well, too, like The History That Haunts Us, The Mystery of Winnie Evans, The Dog River Monster, and of course, you got the upcoming Binded by Tragedy, and we'll talk about those with film producer, director, founder of Creighton Films, Creighton Hobbs. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studio offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. And Evil Evan endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and Mayos. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also on Podbean, Pandora, TuneIn, Apple, as well as Odyssey, and follow us on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and more. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Make sure you check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, including missing, once, and wrinkles, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more, Amazon.com/me and Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the mikewagnershow.com. And I can tell you, being director, that's a wrap.
Yeah, right. It's like, okay, we're done. You know.
I thought you gave me the cut signal or something. well, speaking of being director, we have film producer and director and founder of Creighton Films, Creighton Hobbs, here on the Mike Wagner Show. You talked about working with some wonderful people and also, being around famous people and celebrities and soon-to-bes. You also grew up with in a town with some famous people themselves. 3 Doors Down. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, we all grew up in the same small little town, and it's called Escatawba, Mississippi. And this town is so small, the name of the town is bigger than the actual town. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's like one red light. It's like, and, like, yeah, it's kind of like, you want to meet me at the red light? Yeah, there's only one, but yeah, it's funny because we all knew each other, and it was that small town real vibe. It's I think Stephen King said it best. Every writer is technically in each one of their books that they write is basically writing an autobiography, right? And so that's me of my films, because I always have a small town kind of feel to it from where we all grew up. But like I remember me and Brad being in the same neighborhood growing up together. He was always musically just gifted. Like I remember him playing the drums just as a child.
Wow.
I mean, a little kid, him playing on the drums and just talking about music and things like that. And I'm like, I was like, have you seen the latest Star Wars?
No.
And he was like, the music was great. And I was like, yeah.
Yes, may the force be with you, John Williams.
Yeah. So, that was just, we was always able to connect with the creative aspect. Him was music, me was movies. So
well, of course, putting them together, I mean, you guys have a great project and everything else. And who knew these guys in Mississippi would turn into 3 Doors Down? I mean, who knew that would happen?
Right. And it's kind of like the same thing with me. Who would have known that I would have become a published author and a filmmaker? I mean, it's just amazing. I'm like, man, out of our small little town, we got some rep,
That's right. And of course, you mentioned about being an author. Tell us about some of the books you've written.
Well, I've published one book, and it was my autobiography, How Many Chances?
God.
And
okay.
And it's out of print right now. It's no longer around because the contract went out with the publishing company. But when the contract went out, that's when I decided to make a documentary autobiography movie on it. And that's what I did, and just luck had it. And then the distributor was like, yeah, we'll air it. And I was like, hey, all right.
And of course, you also had some great works too, like The History of That The Mystery of Winnie Evans, and The Dog River Monster. And tell us more about those films.
Okay, I never did The Dog River Monster. That wasn't me.
Okay. All right. Let me
yeah, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay. That must have been the right one. Sorry. So yeah, it's okay, we'll scratch that one out. I don't know how that popped up. Maybe it was a Stephen King thing or so.
Hey, it happens every time I film. I'm like, wait, when did that happen? So, but yeah, The Mystery of Winnie Evans, that was my very first film, or the very first documentary that I did. And the distributor, I published it on YouTube when I got finished with it, because I didn't know what to do with it. And so I was like, here, I'll put it up on YouTube. And it started getting so many views on it, and the distributor saw it and contacted me and was like, hey, let us publish it.
Nice.
Sure. And yeah, so I was like, okay, here, I'll sign it out line, and boom, and it just started. After that, it's just been, I've been a workhorse ever since. And then, well, I remember I did a few more, but we'll go to the thehistorythathauntsus. That's kind of like my paranormal psychological thriller type movie, where it's a very deep thoughted movie. It's like 2.5 hours long. You know, I mean, like really long movie. but it's just I was able to really get to play like with paranormal and ghosts and things like that, and film it, and really get into that aspect of VFX and stuff. So we had a blast, just a fun shooting that, you know, and that got on Amazon. And and then after that was Binded by Tragedy, my latest one that just got released. And that's a crime drama mafia movie. Okay. So I've always, you know, me being a history buff, I've always enjoyed reading biographies and autobiographies and stuff like that about mafia, right? I don't know, I just always liked to enjoy reading, you know, about that. And, you know, when I was a teenager as well, I had some ties with the Dixie Mafia as well. And then, so I was like, well, you know, I created my very first short film was called Locked In. So I decided, you know, I made a short film, my very, very first one I did over 20 years ago. I said, let me redo it. Let me remake Locked In, rename it, make a better script, you know, and that kind of thing. And I made it, redid it, and Binded by Tragedy is now on Amazon for everybody to watch and enjoy.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll talk about how you can watch Binded by Tragedy, and you also have an upcoming film we'll talk about with Creighton Hobbs in just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's. We'll be back with film producer, director, and founder of Creighton Films, Creighton Hobbs, after this time.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the founder and film producer, director of Creighton Films, Creighton Hobbs, here on The Mike Wagner Show. We talked about Binded by Tragedy, which is out on Amazon, and other platforms, and you've got an upcoming film which you're really excited about, and tell us more about that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. We are currently filming a fantasy vampire movie called Bloody Fangs.
Ooh.
And yeah.
Pretty bloody.
Yeah. Well, and like, so I actually who wrote it is the star actor Julian Betts. He actually came up with the idea. He wrote the script, and then he would call me and we'd have a lot of late night sessions. I would say, okay, well, just let's get this in the second act. Let's get this in the third act, and let's shape it maybe like this. Let's change some dialogue here. And he wrote it, and then he sent it to me. I put it in the script format, and I mean, it just went like wildfire. I mean, I was like shocked about, we had all these characters, right? And less than 2 days, they were more or less filled. Yeah. I mean, it was just people, and people are constantly sending me messages like, please let me be in this vampire movie. I've seen all your work. Let me be in it, and I'm like, okay, so it's just, this movie basically, it's the journey of this one character, Michael. And Michael, he is trying to find out the truth of how he became half vampire, half human. And as you go along and you ride this journey with Michael, he finds out how exactly, not only did this happen to him, but to his brother as well.
Oh, wow.
Because his brother is half vampire and half human. And so, of course, it's basically a story of rich versus poor. That because I wanted to show that, well, I am a Southerner, and so I'm always rooting for the underdog,
Yes.
And most everybody loves an underdog story. So that's what we kind of got. That's the basis of Bloody Fangs. You're looking at a underdog story, and that's what you're gonna just go through all of these great serious. It's a very serious and dramatic. It's not blood and gore like a Jason movie or Michael Myers, where there's just stabbing and killing. I was like, no, I want to take a different, not boring approach, but dramatic, serious. Because as a filmmaker, I've always put myself in the audience position. What is it, if I was a paying customer, what would I like to see, or what do I think? What's something you could do to throw me a curve, or what are you going to do to keep me sitting here watching this movie and not be mad that you bought it?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
That certainly is interesting. Where can we, and when is Bloody Fans coming out? When can we expect it?
Well, we're fingers crossed. Hopefully by April of next year or May of next year, we'll be finished filming it.
Okay.
And then with post-production, and so maybe around September, October of next year, maybe. Fingers crossed.
So about before 2024 ends, pretty much, right?
Yeah. At the end of 2024, I would say that would be a safe bet.
Okay. In the meantime, where can we find Binded by Tragedy and all your works at, Creighton?
On Amazon. Just go, where you go to Amazon to watch movies, and you can type in Binded by Tragedy, and it'll pop up. And then same with all the rest of them. How Many Chances, The History That Haunts Us, My Paranormal Experiences, The Mystery of Winnie Evans, and I think that's it.
Okay, we'll certainly check those out. We're with film producer, director, and founder of Creighton Films, Creighton Hobbs, with Binded by Tragedy here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few minutes here with Creighton. What else can we expect from you in 2023 and beyond?
Whew. Well, I know after I'm done with Bloody Fangs and it's done and said and good to go, I'm taking about 8 or 9 months off. I'm taking a hiatus because I've been working straight for 9 years.
Wow.
9 years. I have not stopped. I've just been making movies. And I was like, for every year I've worked, I think I need a month off.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good policy. I think you should apply that to anything you do freelance. Each time you do something great, you take a month off. I like that. So I'm about to do that from now on too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. But I do, because my mind and just, I can't sit still for too terribly long, about wanting to create. But I'm pretty sure we're going to do a History That Haunts Us too. That is something that's just to my heart. That's just something that I really want to do. And I'll probably, I don't know, there's no telling. You'll probably just have to find me on Facebook and be like, what's Creighton doing now?
Well, I'm sure we can all figure that out. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Ooh, my biggest influence. Oh gosh, that's a toughie. So my biggest influence in my career wise, honestly, I would have to say my dad. Not that he made movies or anything, but he was a pharmacist his whole life. But I learned through him that hard work does pay off.
Mm-hmm.
In the end. It does pay off. And I learned through him social skills and how to run a business and just being a good man in general, trying to be a good, positive person. I've said in a media interview before, I was asked, talking about my dad, I said, if I could be just half the man he is, I have accomplished the greatest thing in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm. And that's a great cure for pharmacists. I got to say that. So,
right.
Yes, it is, from Dr. Feelgood. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice, especially with film, never give up. That's the thing. With whether it be acting, directing, producing, anything, never give up. No matter how hard, how tired you are of it or of the movie project, just finish it to the end. And then when you finally sit in the theater or you get to sit at home in your relaxed chair and you get to see that movie, then that movie is something that will be out there forever. And you're going to share the screen with all of the other big name stars that you and everybody else looks up to. So never, ever, ever give up on your dream or what you're doing.
And just for that, after a film, you can take 8 to 9 months off. We'll give you that privilege. So
exactly. Yeah.
There you go. Well, we'll take a vacation with you on that one. Maybe we're 3 doors down. We're with film producer, director, founder of Creighton Films and the movie Binded by Tragedy, Creighton Hobbs, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Creighton, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your works?
Right now, you can go to our website, which is www.bloodyfans.com. And that's up and going. And we have all the links to wherever you want to go, from there. It's just like here. Just go to the website, bloodyfans.com.
Okay, well, all right, we'll certainly check that out. Once again, Creighton, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you soon.
You.
Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Glad to have you back. Wish you all the best. And Creighton, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, man. I'm so honored. It's great.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mohsen-Zia of Missing, and powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms, and of course on the mikewagnershow.com, hamiltonradio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at themikewagnershow.com. Thanks for listening.